Hello, guys. We're bursting out laughing. Bursting out laughing is a good way to start a live meeting. So we have people joining us. They're saying hello. We've got Anna Breeze there. Special guest Anna Breeze, brilliant, lovely. And we've got other people coming in. Great. Thank you to everybody for turning up. We can put questions on the screen, so you'll see there that I can show a little message there from. We'll give Anna Breeze a little plug. And Anna Breeze has got an amazing website called Against Vaccine Passports. And we're going to do some work together on how we promote each other's directories, and we move really quickly to get awakened consumers dealing with all our awakened businesses, because we're not in competition together. So hi to Anna and her team. But yeah, so Joinavision. So tell me, how did you two guys meet, and what made you get into the Joinavision group?
Well, we both home educate our children, so about 5 or 6 years ago, I think you had just taken them out.
Yeah. You've always home ed, haven't you?
Yeah. They've not been.
What made you take them out so long ago? 6 years ago. So what made you take them out at that time?
We run children's nurseries, and I could see that everything Ofsted did was against the child. It was more to encourage parents to go back to work, and also almost overload the nursery staff with so much paperwork that the nursery would have to employ more and more people to keep their profits low. So it felt like this circle. And when I went to school, it just felt the same. There was no art and telling off, and I could see my daughter's confidence just sort of diving, and I just thought she'd be all right. There's no bullying, there's no nothing, but I just thought is okay, good enough, and I thought it's not. So I just thought let's give it a go, and that's when I met Casey, and Casey was the first person that I'd met who didn't have a BBC license. I was like, well, how can you watch telly without a BBC license? Because telly's really important.
that BBC license is going to become quite an important thing, actually. I think the next series of moves that groups like ours do is to really get together and say, right, we're not paying that, and we're not watching it, and it doesn't deserve our support, and we, so yeah, I think that's a great idea. And again, you guys are pioneers in terms of getting the kids out of school. We've teamed up with Awakened Alternative Education, a great group. I mean, they've got some brilliant ideas, wild schooling, and I must admit, my knowledge of what alternative education was, I just thought you took them out of school and you basically did the normal school stuff at home. But it's so different from that, and I'd imagine very rewarding. What type of schooling do you do anyway, just out of curiosity? What kind of actual schooling do you badge it as anything?
Not really. I would say we are more autonomous in our learning. And we would just follow the child's interests and mostly wait until they're ready to do things. So reading, we've never done it. Yeah, more life skills. We did a lot of traveling before COVID as well. So there's something called world schooling. But like I say, we're autonomous, so we just kind of go with the flow, and whatever the Lord wants.
But we're more structured because I've had more programming than Casey, so my shelves are full of like exercise books and maths books, and I'll be passing them on to probably quite a lot of people because now I'm just like, what is the point of GCSEs? So I've kind of gone the complete other way, but it's taken me quite a long time to get there. So
you don't work towards an exam or anything at the end of the school career. It's just a continual assessment, making sure they know how to, well, I guess just read and write and add up, and then all the other life skills. What it's like,
and the year flies by, so it feels like you just don't have time to sit and do a plan. I'd love to be. I think teachers are amazing, they're so entrepreneurial, but I am not that sort of person that could sit and do a plan the night before. So I'm just just a kind of a wing it person, and that it doesn't necessarily always work if I've trying to bring some structure in it. So now my eldest daughter, she's doing a diploma on astrology and sports personal training, but she'll probably skip English GCSE and maths GCSE, but at least she's sort of honing in on her skills rather than wasting her time on right angles and algebra, and all those sorts of things.
So you guys met. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say that Casey's son and my children have actually, or the children that we've got a similar age, are actually pretty much at the same level, despite doing totally different education ethoses.
So it works. Yeah. So you guys met there, and then you entered into so tell us how the Joinavision name and the idea came about, because a big part of tonight, we've got two groups here watching this, and as we expand this kind of groups for unity idea, I mean, we've been talking about groups having their own identity, but all of us sort of pulling a bit more together, even our members cross-pollinating. You know, I want my members to join Joinavision, and I hope that you're happy for your members to join us and bring their good energy. You know, if we bring our good energy in each other's groups, we think that's the way forward. And we're not building these walled gardens around each other, and you know, this is mine. You know, we need to get together. And I think the protest movements, to a certain extent, there's a lot of pressure within the protest groups, but they're at each other. You know, there's a lot of negativity there, and I look at us as, make no mistake, Joinavision is a protest, and make no mistake, Awaken Pages is a protest. You know, we often say, you know, every pound is a protest pound. This is an economic counter strike against the people that are, you know, don't have our interests at heart. Let's put it that way. So we are protest groups, but we're solution driven protest groups, and I think that's very, very important. So the more we can pull together, the better. So tonight, hopefully, we're going to try and talk about what Joinavision is for the benefit of our members, but there might be some of your own members who have got a chance to renew their vows and reconnect with the group again and figure out again, why am I here and what makes this group different. Tell us how you guys then thought of the idea for Joinavision and how the name came about.
Yeah, so Joinavision came out when I was watching the documentary Out of the Shadows. I loved the guy talking about how the word television was made, and I thought, you know, they wanted to tell a vision through means of programming and channels, and I was just like, of course, it makes so much sense. And then I'm all about changing a negative into a positive, so I created this Facebook page a couple of years ago called Share a Vision, which is where we meant to share our produce in our local area. And then when lockdown happened, there were two groups in Suffolk that we wanted to connect, and I was on a little chat group with Casey, and we were saying, right, what do we call? Let's create a group to connect us, and what do we call it? And so we were like Connect-a-Vision, One Vision, and then someone mentioned Joinavision, and and that was the one that everybody liked. So and what about you guys with Awakened Pages? Who was that one that was kind of
like a lot of groups are coming up with this term awakened in it, and it's becoming the sort of dominant term, if you like. You know, it's you're awakened. You know, you've got awakened travel, you've got awakened trading, you've got awakened dating, and you know, I had the perfect excuse to get my name on an Awakened dating site, and my wife saying, well, why are you going on a dating site? You're married. But then I'm saying, I have to suss out all these Awakened sites, you know, I have to go in and look and find out what they're all about. So, but she says you put an awful lot of effort into your profile in there. So, but anyway, so this Awakened idea. But I ran a mortgage business for years, and we did a lot of business through Yellow Pages. And I like the sort of Awakened Pages. Each business gets their own page, and the page is there to showcase that business. We want the business to have they've got their own space on our website, and we want to say this page is dedicated to your business and everything that you do, and they're very, very unique business. So that's where the idea for Awaken Pages came about. Now you guys have got a website that you're working on, and if you don't mind, I can put that on the screen just now, and we can have a quick look at that. So you can see some of your ideas there. You've got education, you've got wellness, and you've got community living, planters and planners. So a big part of the Joinavision strategy, it seems, is about this building communities, self-determination, if you like, getting your own food and being in control of your own destiny. Is that ideas that you share within the group?
Yeah, I think so. Most people are like-minded. And we sort of made each section to give ideas as opposed to telling people how to live. It's just showing another way or how things can be done.
I think people forget that they don't have to rely on the system. I think we're too used to handing our power to other people. Put our kids in childcare, we put our kids in school, we go and get a job, and then we put pop ourselves into an old people's home. And I just think, in actual fact, there's a new system that we could take control of our pregnancy, our birth, our children, our vulnerable, and our elderly. And we can actually, I don't even like the funeral system, the death system. It's just, why build this beautiful wooden box and then burn it? You just think, so I just think, again, it's bringing the power back to the person so they don't have to go and then sue other people, because every decision they've made has been from themselves. So, but it's hard changing that mentality. It took, it's a big adjustment. And Joinavision is all about creating this parallel system that can work quite well alongside the other one. It doesn't have to be divisive. We're there for people as if they want to come out of the system, but we're not making anybody see the world the way we do either.
That makes sense. And you've got a section here for health as well, and birth and babies, and we see that a lot, don't we, Jane? Is it doulas and things like that they call them? And I'd actually never heard that term before, and then now we've got doulas left, right, and centre coming out, and very popular actually as well. So this more natural way to live, smaller communities, people working together, people looking after each other, energy exchanges. We're doing some work just now where Jane and I will do some promotional work within our directory in return for some goods or services. It could be some online Reiki or online energy healing, and we'll say to someone, well, you give us an hour of your time and we'll give you an hour of our time, and things like that. And I think there's going to be more of that kind of energy exchange business moving forward, I think, and it feels really right just now.
Definitely. But I also, like we've said in the past, and I've put on my posts, that if we support our companies and our groups while the monetary system is there, then I do think this is an opportunity actually to earn some money and then do good with it, instead of giving our money to Costa Coffee or McDonald's or Burger King. I just loved it when people are crying that they might have the vaccine to go to the supermarket. I'm like, well, you shouldn't be in a supermarket. They shouldn't exist. They're destroying the farmers, they're destroying the animals, and destroying the environment. So I think the best thing that could happen is if they stop us going to supermarkets. But
well, it's another way to look at it, because it's coming anyway. And again, this whole vaccine passport thing in Scotland, have just pushed it through today, and we knew it was happening anyway. And it's kind of like the slow creep. So they've got it for nightclubs and large events and, football stadiums and things like that. And it's a joke how people are sleepwalking through this and can't see it. But if it forces us to move in a different direction, and I think you guys and our group have got this sort of glass half full, we're every cloud has a silver lining. We're just rolling with the punches. Nothing's going to stop us now. We're just moving, and we're just going to keep going in the direction we're going. And we'll come out of this in a good place, and we'll enjoy getting there. One thing I will say, and I don't know if you guys find this, and it would be nice to say to our members about this, to truly engage and to truly renew your vows to why you're in groups at all. I mean, I vet a lot of Jane, you and I, we vet the members coming in. You have a look at them and you look at their profile and you see how many groups they're in. Some of these people are in 900 groups, 700 groups, 10,000 friends and things like that. And you're like, how could you see anything? How do you know what's going on? Surely you would have 5 or 6 groups that you want to spend your time in and dedicate your time to them. So find it's like cafes. You don't need to go to 9,000 cafes. Just find 2 or 3 that you enjoy and go to them. And I think it's a bit the same as groups. Find groups where you like the energy and take your good energy into those groups and engage with the posts, comment, get involved in the comments thread, like, love, hate the post, whatever it is you want to do, get angry with the post, but engage with the content that's there. Things like this, if we're going to do live streams, set aside some time. Coronation Street can wait. Record it, watch it another time. We're better than Coronation Street tonight. We can talk about different things. So engage with these initiatives. We're trying to build channels. We're trying to build alternatives for you. So support us while we do it, and support your fellow members in these groups. Now, the other thing that you've got there, and again, a lot of groups have got to this, and I like this when I saw this, is a service-directed idea for holidays and holistic holidays and free wellness care. What was your strategy around that, and what's your plans in that kind of space as well?
Do you want to go?
Well, we just wanted a space where we knew everybody was like-minded, where people could come in to get a service free, knowing that it would be free from judgment, whichever way you're choosing, masked, unmasked, vaccinated or unvaccinated. Everybody's going to have their own sort of views on that, but we just wanted a place free from judgment that everyone could go to.
Yeah, and long term, we'll obviously be building, but again, all of our pages, because I said to Casey, we said that we feel like we're creating this, whole world on our page. And so, but equally, we felt we wanted to get it out before we went on the camps. So there's a lot of pages that need a bit of work, but equally, there's so many groups coming up. So I actually think your group for unity is going to be really valuable, because rather than I think so many groups we come on, we think, oh my God, we've got so much to do, and then you forget there's thousands of us working really hard. It's just about joining now.
We have
I think it's about
numbers, not competition.
Yeah, it's not a competition. I don't think we want to build any of these barriers now. Do you know what? We don't have time to compete in these groups for members. We have to just say, look, we reckon there's probably 5 or 6 million awakened people in the UK. Spread yourself about the groups that you want to spend some time in. Get involved in the initiatives. We're not on groups just to post and to do nothing. I would hate to think that there's members in our Awakened Pages group that think that they're there just to look at posts. They're there to support these businesses who are going out of their way to make sure that services are going to be there for us and our kind. And they're trying to protect old normal for us all. These cafes, bars, restaurants, nightclubs, soft plays areas, butchers, bakers, I talk about this all the time. Get out there and support them. These online businesses, if they're awake, support them. And if we don't have them, the various there might be 5 or 6 awakened directories in the UK. Good, let's look at them all, because not everybody's going to have all the awakened businesses there. It takes too long to get them all in. If there's 5 or 6 million awakened people in the UK, there's probably 400 to 600,000 awakened businesses. Now, a lot of them will be one-man bands working from home, a plumber, an electrician, somebody who makes jewellery at home or whatever. One-man bands, but they're really important businesses in our economy. And if we support them and we take the power of our awakened pound and we put it into those pockets, then that business might expand. And when our kids leave your wild schooling or world schooling or whatever it is we're all doing, then they might go and work for an awakened business. If we're still in this damn mess, then they'll probably be one of the best jobs they could get. And the awakened employee of the future is important.
That's what we thought, because I think that we feel this pressure to test our children, exams, A-levels, then degree. But if the businesses that are on our wavelength start bringing in youngsters to train them, they won't need those GCSEs and A-levels, because the employee will, interview them and use their own judgment whether they're right for the job. So I just think, again, we're creating this new system, and those single person companies are the ones that we really want to support, and and we're getting our boys, they've all got a little task this term to create a business that they'll sell the products at our Christmas market.
Brilliant idea.
So and I think if every youngster starts, because a couple of youngsters said today, I said, what do you want? Picture the world that you want to live in. And they went, I want loads of money. And I was like, well, how are you going to get it? And so we sat around and chatted about, ways to they could earn money. One guy came up with a great idea to buy in a £5 and sell it for a £10. And I was like, I don't think that's going to go down well with Joinavision people. So yeah, it's just really making sure young people feel empowered as well, because I think the system is very good at making young people think that they don't have that power. But it's the young people that have it in spades, really.
It really is breaking away from that matrix, as you say, from the way you're born and how you're born, to the way you go to nursery, who looks after you for most of your time that you're growing up, and what do they teach you, and what are you learning, and how valuable is it going to be? You're being put on a path for this old world, and we are creating something. We are breaking completely away, and I think this is. I mean, you guys were ahead of your time. I've been ahead of my time on a few different things as well there, but I think now we're all being nudged into this place where we're saying we have to do things. We don't have any choices, so we have to get on with it, roll our sleeves up, and make some magic happen here. And I think it's happening. Now, you guys have got some excellent members in the group, and I reached out to you because I liked the name, I liked the branding. I thought Joinavision meant something different, but when I joined it, I thought, but it kind of does mean what I thought it meant. I thought it meant join us and share your vision of a better world, and we'll try and work on it together and flesh it out and create it. But in many ways, it does mean that anyway.
Because everybody, I mean, we've got groups going in pretty much every county, and the ones that are active, they all have taken their own shape and their own form of things that are going on, and events that are happening, and meets that they go to. So it's about sort of
joining our vision of a new world
and finding what you do best while contributing to the whole.
And do people from different counties meet up, or do they tend to stick within their county?
Northamptonshire. We've got Northamptonshire and Essex and Suffolk. They're the biggest groups. We've got London. So Cornwall's quite quiet, sadly, at the moment. The Isle of Wight has a good people. So and we go to the marches now and again, and it's nice when you meet people there and they tell you that they've had a lunch with someone else from our page, and you think, it is doing what it's meant to do, because Joinavision was never meant to be a Facebook, just a Facebook page where you scroll. The whole point was joining two groups, and then it was all about face-to-face meetings, which is why Stand in the Park has been so good, because I think with Stand in the Park and Joinavision, it's just connecting, making sure those people who stand in the park start creating this new world that we want to live in.
Well, we've also had a couple of camping events where there's been a bit of cross-pollination from the different counties. So we would have met then.
Yes, from Wales.
A few of the doers. And
we had people coming from Wales, Sussex, Bristol area. So that was lovely to actually start bringing a Facebook page to life. It was this is what it's all about, isn't it?
I got some good joy from that the other day as well, because I did a post. I actually played a guy at tennis the other night, and he contacted me. We're in a sort of we're in the same sort of county, if you like, and posted something about tennis. And then he said, I'm in your area, and we agreed to meet. And it was absolutely brilliant. It was such a nice experience. We obviously played tennis, and then we're talking at the side, and we're talking at the end, and then we'll meet again next week. But these are new friendships being formed. And then I posted about that in the group, and then people started saying, I'd love to play tennis in my area, and people said, I'd love to do karaoke in my. So I did another post. I said, look, fill your boots. What do you want to do? Who do you want to do it with? What area are you in? And then find people and connect. Now, Now, we're about business,
Exactly.
but we're also about connections, and we're about goodwill, and we're about good energy. You know, we're not just
Yeah.
about people buying off these businesses, but it's about saying, look, there's something in our group that we're trying to achieve with galvanizing the energy of the people, harnessing the energy
Yeah.
and pointing it. These people that we're up against fear our good energy. They don't want your group with 8,000 people in it and my group with 8,000 people in it getting together and all sort of building that momentum and pushing it against them and stand in the park with 45,000 people in it. I met with the girl at Stand in the Park 3 the other day. She's absolutely lovely. I love the Stand in the Park concept. Those people are
Yeah.
building an amazing community that's going to be the catalyst for your camps and educations and all the visionary stuff that you guys are doing, and the education, the wellness things, and as well as this awakened consumers. They're going to become the awakened consumers, and they are the Stand in the Park are the awakened plumbers, bakers, butchers, candlestick makers. They are the awakened businesses that we want to support. So if they talk about our directory when they're standing in the park, and I use that example a lot, I say, where did the, because I think Standing in the Park's an absolutely brilliant example of a success. It's not
Very
a
effective. Yeah.
it's not a angry, you wouldn't want to be involved with it protest, shouting and banging pots, and that's not everybody's cup of tea. Some people, for some people, a stand in the park is too big a deal, but when they go there, they would absolutely love it and they'd feel normal again for that period of time. And I said to Fee, I said, look, where do the good people of Stand in the Park go on a Thursday morning for a roll and bacon? In their local town, where do they go, or a roll and some kind of vegetarian thing, so I don't offend anybody out there. So where do they go for a pint with their pals on a Friday night in their local area? Where do they go? What soft play area do they go to on a Saturday afternoon with their kids? And where do they go for a meal with their family on a Saturday night? Now, if we can find where these awakened businesses are, then we can all go there. Now, slowly, like Stand in the Park started with one person standing in the park, then another person. Slowly, you end up with a cafe who suddenly there's three people at the there's three people sitting there, and that acknowledging, not acknowledging look when you see someone who's smiling over and walking about smiling and happy, and you think he's one of us, and you have one of those chance encounters outside, but it's slightly different from it. So more of those Stand in the Park encounters, but sometimes it's in a pub, and sometimes it's on a tennis court, and sometimes it's in all of these different places that we can continue to live our lives without these people telling us how to live them.
I think the less you come into contact with that world, the better you feel. I actually got into a point where I hated going to a supermarket last year. I think you did as well. We all did, didn't we? Because just seeing someone in a mask makes you feel sad, you can feel your energy being drawn away. So I've been into a pub once since last March, and I'm getting, baby steps. I'm getting back in there, but I'll, it's, so I just think, but when you go to Stand in the Park, you come away and you feel energized. So the masked world sort of sucks your energy, and the unmasks, you just feel, like you've had a Duracell battery recharge, and then you feel invincible, and then you kind of think, well, actually, what can I do with this extra energy that I've got, coursing through my body and my brain at night? And that's probably
that's where
Jane, I guess you do quite,
I was
going to say, Jane must do quite a lot of admin for your group. And do you ever stop thinking about it?
Never. The minute I wake up, it's a good energy. So like before we started work on this, I woke up every morning with that knot in your stomach that I think we've all woken up with, just that fear and anxiety. And then as soon as I started working on this, it's still there to an extent, but nowhere near as severe as it used to be. And then I just get on the computer and then it just disappears. And then I just carry on working. I'm meeting so many people on the webinars, and the energy is all the same. Everyone is so lovely, and it's just so uplifting and very rewarding. And doing something positive.
Well, I always say the best thing they did to us last year was lock us up, because suddenly I think we'd all retreated into our shells. We didn't really know who to speak to. I mean, we didn't really know we were on each other's wavelength. We knew we home ed, but and you didn't have a BBC license, but I think we'd kept ourselves to ourselves for fear of, you know, being ridiculed or dismissed. Whereas now, yeah, everybody's joined, aren't they? The USA, you know, Canada, and it's just amazing. And you think, wow, really, the world is our oyster.
And you meet so many people, or different people, that you would never have met in your previous life, from so many different walks of life, which I love. And just meeting different opinions and different life experiences that they'll share with you. It's so uplifting. I'm enjoying it a lot.
It is. Yeah.
And the connections, I would say, with the people we are meeting are stronger and happen a lot quicker than usually. You sort of almost feel like you've known them previously.
That's a good point. I suppose that's an encouragement there. I suppose if any of the viewers who watch this live or who watch the recording of this, you know, it's, you know, get in there, you know, dive in, the water's lovely type thing, you know, get into it, and, you know,
I know.
Connect with the group, you know, connect with the people, have these experiences, go to your stand in the park, buy the t-shirt, feel part of the little army that's growing there, you know, be involved in it. Some of these groups, it's their only way to survive. Sometimes can be these t-shirts that they sell. Well, why not buy a t-shirt? You buy t-shirts anyway. The t-shirt does what you want it to do, so get your money out and give them the money for their t-shirts and things like that. These are all important little statements, but enjoy the experience, enjoy buying from an awakened business, enjoy going on a camp with you guys, and enjoy playing someone at tennis. Jane, we had that one the other day. That lovely woman in the group said, this might sound, I said, name your sport. What do you want to do? Where do you want to do it? And then connect with each other. So we didn't want to organise it because that's not for our group. We said, just work it out yourselves. And so they're all doing that. And I could see people, they're all meeting up, aren't they, Jane? There's lots of people meeting up. We never thought we were going to start our own dating site for this stuff. But
I suppose
this woman,
the difference with your group is that, have you got local areas, you know, because yours is nationwide. I mean, ours was, we started in Suffolk, and then we realised there was a demand for nationwide, whereas you've just started nationwide.
We started in Scotland, so a lot of our English and Welsh and Irish clients probably think, why is there so many Scottish people? But there's less Scottish people now. But at the start, it was all Scottish, because we started the prototype there. And there's another business, another group that we're aligned with. Homeschool Defy Club, they're another group. Yeah, you know Richard over there as well. Great guy. I'm going to do a meeting like this with Richard and his group. And again, you know, they've got some great ideas on crypto stuff and amazing. So why not tap into the knowledge that we've got? These things seem distant from us, but we can bring them closer together. The barriers are broken down. We have the trust because we're all pushing in the right direction anyway. So these things. But that we posted it, and there was one woman, and she said, because we were all talking about, I like to do golf or hill walking or, you know, wild swimming. That Jane's a wild swimmer. She loves. No, she's never. She would never. No, she would never. She would never. No, she would never do it in her life.
There's no way I'm going in this.
I keep saying that we're going to do a wild swimming day as a team building day. Me and her out wild swimming, but it's not going to happen because I'm a bit the same. So, but we maybe should. That's it. We should get, especially Scotland. It's freezing up here. But this woman said, I'm looking for somebody. This might sound strange, but I want to do some karaoke. And a few people, I laughed. I thought, that's great, that's good. And then, but a few people have, I think there's 3 or 4 of them going to do a karaoke night. So I says, record it and beam it into the group. We want to see you singing, and you know, we'll do it on a Friday night. So we're drunk in our ears, attuned to the noise and all of that kind of stuff. And but it was nice.
Brilliant.
It was nice to see, and I think that's what we're trying to bring to the table between these groups. And I reached out to you guys, the Awakened Education Group, the Homeschool Defy, the Convid Free Festivals as well. Another great group that we should absolutely be supporting. These guys are out there creating big festivals with no strings attached. You know,
brilliant.
And these guys are putting their money where their mouth is. I'm not really a festival goer, right? But I will be. You know, this is where we have to get out of our comfort zones for the sake of support. because support isn't supporting for the sidelines. I can't support them by saying, yeah, go on, guys. That is support. I need to support them by saying, right, I'm going to go and do something that I don't normally do. And we're doing that, Jane, as well with these energy swaps and products that we're buying from our, it's maybe products we wouldn't have bought before, but we're finding excuses
What's your favourite? Have you got a favourite product that stands? That one.
I
just
got a lovely somebody.
Okay.
Well, I did a sort of I call it a business spotlight, where we take a business and we put it under the spotlight, and we use our channel, almost our group, as a channel to say, well, here's a business here, and we're going to talk about their business. And in return, they sent me some of their products because we're doing work for them, and it was an energy exchange in that respect. Now, they do this organic stuff. There's an organic block of shampoo. So it's like a soap shampoo. Really good. Really good. I'm always, when I pour shampoo, I pour too much on, and then I see it all falling in the shower and dripping off my hair, and it's unused. and it's gone down my plug hole, and I'm saying, I paid for you, and now you're not even on my hair, you're on the this is better. There's less waste. It feels really good, and it's it's really, really interesting. So we're going to do some deep dives into it, like product reviews, and say, right, we've looked at these products, and here's our opinion of it, because we become sort of, I suppose, influential in these groups as well. So yeah, it's just about people getting to know what's out there, and do you know what they need to do, Jessica? They need to make an effort. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time to sort of step up. I'm going to show you something here that ties in, because I wanted to talk about both our businesses there. So, for the benefit, or both are, for the benefit of your members, our directory is called Awakened Pages. Okay, and you see there, and we don't make a big song and dance about what awakened means. We're not anti anything, on paper. I'm not saying.
Who thought of the logo, by the way?
I pulled together the logo, and Jane gave me the thumbs up on it and said that was okay. But the logo's like a little rocket there, so the little rocket's there to signify the. You mean this logo or this one here?
Your man holding the bricks, holding the.
Yeah, that was an
logo,
image.
But,
yeah, that branding. Yeah. So this is all I wanted to do. I wanted this page to make a strong message. It's time for our great reset. I think everybody in our frame of mind understands what I'm saying there. We don't need to dig too. And then it says, where awakened customers find awakened businesses. And then you have this person standing there. And really, I want everybody, whether it's your group or my group or any group, be that guy. Be that guy in the middle there. Because
exactly.
That's a one-man protest. So some of the biggest look at the guy in China, Tiananmen Square, the guy who stood in front of the tanks. One guy. He didn't need to organize a big protest. He wasn't obviously meaning to protest. He basically was walking with his shopping, and he was just coming back, and he saw the tanks rolling down the street, and he said, I'm not having this. And he stood in front of it wasn't planned, and he just had enough. We use this saying, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough was enough for that guy that day, and he stood in front. Tiananmen Square, or Tank Man, they call him. Tank Man, I think they call him.
But I always think, we're in a war, but we haven't got guns pointing at us. He had a tank coming towards him. All we've got to do is go and shop somewhere else.
Absolutely.
And you just think it is, or just say no. Yes, I don't. My job isn't worth that.
Well, that's a very, very good point you make, actually, because we don't have guns. You're 100% right. All we have to do is do something differently. Take your kid out of school if it's going to be that. Say no to the no jab, no job. Fine, go with the flow. Don't if you don't want to do it, don't do it. We'll find you a job. Come in.
Yeah.
There'll be a job here for you. I'm quite sure of it, in some shape or form. If you can stand up and be counted, then I'm sure somebody will respect that, and you'll end up where you should be. If people can get made redundant, take the damn redundancy money from the job you don't like anyway, and go and set yourself up. There's people on our website who do Reiki
courses. They teach you how to be a Reiki. Maybe you were destined to be a Reiki master. You know, spend a couple of grand of your redundancy money and do that. You probably like it better than the job you hated that was a no jab, no job anyway. You know, what's for us, you know, what's for us is not going to go by us. So I think more of us need to be this tank man. We need to be this guy in the middle, each of us. And as you say, Jessica, correctly and very astutely, you know, all we need to do is change our shopping habits. That's just one thing. All we have to do is to not wear. We have people in our
Not
groups.
interact with this.
Yeah, absolutely. But we have people in our groups, both of us, who will still be wearing masks because they started wearing masks and they just can't whip them off. But they believe in what we're saying, but they're in a local town and they've committed. Be that guy. Take it off.
Yes.
You're exempt now. Take it off now. Don't be scared. Make that your protest today. You know, do that little thing.
I've said, because they say, oh, well, you know, they know my fate. Well, you know, they know that I wear a mask now. I say, well, tell them that the mask is making you sick and that you've had a panic attack or something, and they won't ask again.
Yeah.
So,
you don't have to say that.
No, they probably won't ask.
You don't even need to.
No.
I know, but do you know what? I think we have to give them those thoughts, though, because I think that they won't do it without that thought. You know, we can say that all day long. They won't ask or they won't. And I think I get treated pretty well in places when I go in. I feel as if I get a VIP service when I walk in with no mask on. I've always felt that I actually think I get a better service than I had before. You know, I don't know why it is. So I would recommend it to anybody. But I always try and put myself in the other person's shoes. I get the local. I lived in a local village, and I know there's some people who saw me with no mask. I was there from day one. No chance of it happening at all. So I was there, and I think I was the only one actually. I saw some people looking at me who thought they'd like to do it, but they'd committed by that point. And now they're 6 months in and they're doing it all the time, but they whip it off as soon as they come out that door. Now, for that person, you could say to them, they're not allowed to ask, they won't ask, all the rest of it. But in their mind, they have to justify it. They have to. So if they can get it off the table and say, oh, by the way, I've been in the doctors and I can't wear them anymore, so I'm now exempt. And they have that conversation, fine, move on, done. Now they're where they want to be. You know, now they're doing what they want to do. So it's almost like that's a mini protest for that person that day, isn't it? You know, that's them.
Yeah. Exactly.
And we're there to facilitate these things.
That's what I was just going to say. Hopefully our groups are making their life easier from, you know, it is like we had a scaffolding guy arrive the other day. I didn't know he was on my wavelengths. Within like 2 minutes, we were talking about everything. And I just thought, God, if I'd have been able to phone him knowing that he was going to arrive and put his scaffolding up, that we were on our wavelength, I wouldn't have, you know, because sometimes you think, oh, you've got a carpet guy coming in. Is he going to come with a mask? And instantly you just think, you know, if he puts it on, you just...
As soon as they come in the door, I just take that thing off. They're not allowed in this house.
Yeah, but think about it though. Think, and that's the key. If he was a scaffolding guy from our website, then he wouldn't have had the mask on in the first place anyway.
Exactly.
So you know what you're. But again, I need a scaffolding guy in every area. Glasgow, Edinburgh. You know, these are all big places. This is an example of one of our pages where we've got a free listing for every business. But this is a lady I know, Isabella. She won't mind me saying that she works from her daughter. She works with her daughter from home. She goes to all the protests. She's absolutely beautiful. And this was the first video we did. So she makes these lovely little things called memory bears, and they're kind of, if let's say the gran of the family passes away, they make these little bears with maybe a piece of the grandmother's clothing, and it's for the grandkids, and it just reminds them of the granny. So she makes some amazing stuff, but that's one of the products that people love. But I did this wee video with her, and you might actually you should actually hear this. I don't know if I tell me if you can hear this. Can you hear that there?
No, I can't. Can't hear
Can't,
it,
okay.
no.
Maybe it's the way I need to share it. But anyway, she comes across brilliantly. But she goes on and explains, so I'll talk for her here. She goes on and explains about this wee teddy bear, right? And the purple bit's the granny's dressing gown, and the grey bit in the back is the cardigan that she wore every day in life, right? It's a beautiful,
Oh,
and what I try and say, this was the first video we did, and she wanted me in the corner. That wee tiny thing in the corner, there's me talking to her about Teddy.
yes.
But Teddy's the next. It's amazing what this job does to you. But you have to do what you have to do. But an amazing little story. I cried when I watched that. Or the next present I buy, I'm buying off that woman. Now, if everybody in my group watched this, she would get more business, and that's what I'm talking about when I talk about engaging. We're trying to.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh dear, he's freezing.
You're still there, Jane.
I'm still here. Not like this.
Oh, good. So do you find a lot of the businesses, Jane?
The businesses we find through the Facebook group. So we put posts up inviting them to attend webinars, which we host daily.
I'm back. Can you hear me again?
Yeah.
Can you hear me again now?
Right. So it's quite a lot of work.
That's good.
Yeah. I was just telling them about the webinars that we host every day, and invite people on the group to attend them, and then we give them a tour of the directory, much like what we're doing just now.
Yeah, we just like to show them, and
and
it's really enjoyable actually.
Wow, so that's quite a lot of work. Bringing all the people connected. Wow.
And listen,
so is this a full-time job for you guys almost?
It's the lowest paid job in the world, Jessica, for the amount of hours. But you know what? We'll get there in the end. But when it comes to free organic products and free shampoos and stuff like that, well, can you not? I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Oh, we can't hear you guys. I can't read.
So we can hear you.
You're back.
All right. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Has Steve frozen again?
Oh yeah.
I think he's frozen again. Oh.
I did notice that people. Oh, is he back? I did notice that people were saying you have to deregister your child from school, and you don't. Is there a license? Is there a license? Yes, to home ed, and there isn't a license to home ed, and you just have to send a letter to your school saying you're going to home educate. That's all you have to do. It's very easy. So I think a lot of parents think it's a really massive thing. And
do they not make it quite difficult to do? Do they not make it quite difficult and make it quite intimidating? Because you hear stories about them turning up at the doorstep asking questions.
Yeah, no, they're lovely.
I think if once you've put your child into the system and then you deregister them, the school or the local authority has to check that you've got some sort of education in place. So as long as that's worded well enough, without being intrusive, because there's certain things they can ask and certain things they can't. There's a great website called Education Otherwise, which has everything you'd ever need to know about home educating. It's got letter templates and things you could send on.
But they're pretty supportive around here, aren't they?
I've not had any interaction with them, so I don't know.
Well, supportive as in they don't bother you at all. So you get a letter every year saying there's a meeting that you can attend if you want to, and but it's nice. Yeah. Oh, Steve's gone again. He's back.
I'm back. Can you hear me okay now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Listen, just to sum, because we sort of started late with that. We start with a technical problem and end with a technical problem. How's that? That's divine. Yeah. So I'm sure. Listen, we have a forgiving audience. They don't care. So they'll just be laughing at us anyway. So they don't actually care. Absolutely brilliant. We said we were aiming for 45 minutes. Let's not keep the people much longer. But if I can just end by saying thank you very much for you guys for having the vision for Joinavision and for the goodwill that you generate and for the amazing members that you've got. We'd love to invite them to come over and support our awakened businesses and to get their awakened businesses. If you've got Joinavision members who've got their own businesses, we want to support them. We want to help them to survive and thrive. So come over and join us as well. And we say to all the members at Awaken Pages, go over there. If you haven't already, join Joinavision. Take part. Don't take your news over. Don't turn Joinavision into another group with Bill Gates posts you can't see what's going on. Let's not ruin the magic of what's happening there. Don't take you've got other groups for those posts. You don't need to do them there. Take the good stuff over.
Focus on the way forward.
Focus on the stuff.
Again. Thank you for all your thanks for all your hard work. It's amazing. And it's nice, I think once these groups start getting the websites like we've got, then it will just be like this whole connection of websites that click, join from one to another, and it just saves all of us trying to take on the world, really, doesn't it?
That's it. Well, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, I always say, and I think if we're all pulling together, and the enemy, if you want to call them that, doesn't think we can do it, and I think we can. So let's prove them wrong, and let's get our energies pointed.
I feel like
because that's what they fear. That is what they fear.
Yeah, positive vibrations and strength in numbers.
And face-to-face contact. So which
definitely.
is what you're all about. Well, Christmas is coming up. I mean, not we are having to sadly think about Christmas already. It's September, so your page is going to probably be quite busy, I would imagine.
Well, we're looking forward to that, and we want people to get ready. And I think this government's going to have a stab at taking another Christmas office this year. I can see them going for it. I really think they are, and we have to just pull together and galvanise. So, thank you again. If you guys want to hang back, we'll do a wee quick debrief. But thank you for all the people who watched and for all the people who watched the replay of this. And it's been an absolute pleasure.
And thanks everyone.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for everybody's support. It's nice to read all these comments coming in. So.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, see you then.
Bye.